My friends, today I'd like to talk to you about chord progressions. More specifically, how you can create much better and more interesting riffs by using just a little bit of very easy to understand music theory. And the easy tricks I will show you in this video are incredibly powerful. They will allow you to play stuff like this. But before we start diving into those more advanced sounds, allow me to quickly talk to you about the connection between scales and chords. When most guitar players think of scales, they think of something like this, a scale diagram. Today I want you to think about this, the actual notes in the scale. Let's simply start out with the A minor scale. You might have this sequence of notes memorized already. It's quite easy to memorize. And as you might know, to get the chords in the key of A minor, you're simply working with these notes and only with these notes, because that's the A minor scale. And you're always stacking a third and a fifth on top of every single scale degree here. So only using the notes in the scale, the third of A is C and the fifth of A is E. Since that's a minor third and the perfect fifth, we have an A minor chord. And when you continue this chord construction exercise for every single scale degree, you get these chords in the key of A minor. As you can see, that's still the exact sequence of the A minor scale. We simply built a chord on every single scale degree. So that's the first big takeaway of today's video, in case you never heard me talk about this before. Don't think of scales and chords as two completely different universes or different things. Please always remember how interconnected they are. So allow me to get more practical now. Let me play one of the most famous chord progressions in the simple key of A minor. So A minor, F major, C major, G major. So the chords on the first scale degree, the sixth scale degree, the third scale degree and the seventh scale degree. This sounds very good to our ears, and you can hear that in thousands and thousands, maybe millions of pop songs, because those are the chords in the key, so they must work together. And arranged this way, they have a particular nice feeling of tension and resolution. Now you might say that doesn't sound very interesting. You want to play more technical, more modern, more awesome sounding stuff. But allow me to show you my favorite easy trick when it comes to this. This is your second big takeaway from this video. Watch what happens when I play the exact same chords with my fretting hand, maybe in different positions, but I visualize the corresponding scale across the neck, so A minor, and I'm tapping some notes with my picking hand. So the underlying chords right here were exactly the same. But although there are a lot of notes and different techniques in this riff, it's still very melodic and quite catchy, right? But if this still sounds a little bit too basic chord-wise for you, I have two more really amazing tricks for you. But before we continue, I know that there's a massive knowledge gap when it comes to music theory, especially with rock and metal guitar players. I was also guilty of that for a long time, because I was mainly practicing my arpeggios and my picking technique and all of that. But as soon as I understood how music theory works and how easy it actually is, I started writing really interesting progressions and songs basically on autopilot that gained millions and millions of streams by now, thanks to you amazing people. So in case you feel like you still have tons of blind spots when you look at the fretboard, you don't really know your scales aside from the pentatonic scale and maybe the minor scale, you don't know your chords, you don't really know your modes, you can't read or write music. I made over 20 guitar courses by now for my awesome student community on patreon.com/burn. A lot of these courses are easy to understand music theory programs that take your theory knowledge from zero to absolute pro in a matter of weeks, because I'm not talking about any overcomplicated terms and things that you will never use in a practical context. This is aimed at players that actually want to use their music theory skills, players that only want to learn about the necessary things and skip all the crazy stuff that no one actually needs. So just click the link in the description or in the first comment down below. Join an awesome community of over 9,000 players by now. Get access to your courses right away, and as always, you can also download the sheets and files for today's lesson over there as well. But let's continue with the video now. I still have two awesome tricks that I want to show you. If you want more progressive, advanced and exotic sounds, the great thing is you don't have to study millions of different chords and super complicated ways of spicing up your progression. You can use this exact system that I showed you earlier in the video, comparing scales with chords and building the chords on every single scale degree. Maybe you've guessed it already, you just have to work with more interesting scales. Let's just change one note in the A minor scale to get the A harmonic minor scale. As you will hear, that raised 7th scale degree sounds super dissonant and interesting. And since there's one different note in the scale now, of course this has a big effect on all of the chords. As you remember, you always have to add the third and the fifth to all of these scale notes. So this new note will be featured in multiple chords, of course. And to really spice things up, this time we're also adding the seventh. If we do that, we get these awesome seventh chords in the key of A harmonic minor. Just by reading the chord names alone, that looks much more interesting right away. So let me show you some awesome progressions that will get you started with the sound of harmonic minor. So that sounds much more spicy right away. That's kind of an unusual chord progression. Those are kind of unusual chords. So if you're making progressive music, that's a great way of introducing more tension to your compositions while still working with a harmonic system instead of just going for random dissonant intervals. To play interesting leads and guitar solos over that. And to show you this cool sound with a different example, allow me to play the chords on the scale degree descending by arpeggiating them. So as you can see, harmonic minor is pretty dark, mysterious and very awesome. To end this video on a high note, let's check out a very underrated and underused sound. What about melodic minor? So these are the notes we have in the A melodic minor scale. As you can see, it's quite different again from the A minor scale and also different from the A harmonic minor scale. So naturally, when we build the chords on every single scale degree in melodic minor, we also get some different chords this time. And in order to write a cool riff, song or arpeggio sequence even with this kind of sound, I'm simply working with the chords in key again. Let's see what we can come up with this time. So still a very interesting but less gloomy sound compared to harmonic minor. Whenever there's an interesting note in the scale, like F sharp in this case, I want to make sure to accent it in my chord progressions to really bring it out. So for this example, I was changing the chords relatively frequently. I was playing the chords on the 2nd, 5th and 1st scale degrees, but I was always adding that high F sharp in there, which hopefully helped with bringing out the sound of melodic minor in your ears while I was playing this chord progression. Don't forget to download all of your files for this video right now so that you can start practicing with the link in the description or in the first comment, patreon.com/Bernd. Over there you will also get access to multiple really awesome music theory courses from absolute beginner to intermediate to advanced. I promise that learning about this will definitely change your playing forever and it will eliminate so many frustrations in your daily routine. So join on Patreon today, get access to everything right away. I'm waiting for you over there. Greetings from Vienna and bye bye.